My granddaddy lived in back of the Lutheran church about 3/4 of a mile down the road. You had to go through the churchyard and around the cemetery. Most people thought the road ended there. He lived in a little frame house and heated it by wood. It's the only thing he had in the house, the wood burning stove. Had piles of wood in the barnyard, and he had it separated. I got them mixed up one day. I couldn't tell the difference. I couldn't tell the difference now. But he knew the difference. No, that wood goes over there and that wood goes over there. It's all wood, Grandpa. No, keep those separate. Some of it's green, some of it's hard, some of it's soft, some of it's whatever. He kept a pile of wood on his front porch. He didn't start a fire, he built a fire. He had newspapers behind the old stove. He had splinters of kindling wood. And he stuffed that pot-bellied stove full of newspaper and those splinters of kindling wood. And when he got it going, he'd throw hunks of kindling wood in there. And when he got that going, he'd throw a piece of soft wood on there. And when he got that burning, he'd throw an oak log, hard wood, on there. He couldn't have articulated it, but he knew that each material had a different combustibility level, that he had to build the intensity and the flash point in that fire until it could burn that hard wood, that soft wood, those chunks of kindling. I think what we've been doing for 25 years is getting people who pray at just the mention of prayer. We get our intercessors over here, but here's the problem. My granddaddy knew you cannot sustain. In fact, paper and kindling won't give off enough energy to heat the house. And it requires too much attention. He'll never get the farm chores done. He had to stay there with that fire and do nothing else but build the intensity of that fire until he could get an oak log on there. And then he knew he could go off for a couple hours and come back, and that fire would be there. I think as long as we keep making prayer a sidebar issue, and we don't mainstream prayer in the church, until we reach the point where the entire church is engulfed in a spirit of prayer, a spirit of intercession, until the cold, hard, wet oak of a log kind of man who shows up every 12th Sunday is ignited because of the fire and intensity. You see, we're not going to, if you can't have a revival fire, prayer fire in the church, you're not going to see it in the city.